Hi everyone, it's Ray from Ray Life Coaching, and this is, I think it's the fifth day of my meditations in August. And here we are at Middle River Yoga Studio in Stafford Springs. Today, this morning, I woke up very early at like 4 a.m. in the morning, realizing that I needed to reassess, regroup. You'll notice that my energy is a little different today, or at least I notice it. And I feel a little bit more relief from making that decision that had to happen after regrouping and reassessing. But what came from it was talking about or thinking about what confidence means. I think a lot of us think that you have to just bust through things. You just have to, just those words alone say it all. Bust through it and be confident. But the reality is confidence isn't really about that at all. In the end, it's about listening. I keep on saying that, right? And even for myself, I have to remind myself, what am I not listening to right now? Why do I feel the way I feel? And ultimately, confidence should make you feel good, or you want to feel good. You want to feel like settled and trusting and realizing, even if I make the wrong decision, I know I'm still okay. I'm going to be okay either way. So the question is, how does confidence help you decision make if you're just always okay, right? If you're just always okay no matter what you choose. Well, that's the case, yes. But then there's a place where I think confidence has a feeling of real release and relief, because it's like, I can land somewhere in knowing that I'm okay, that I'm good. I've done the work that allows me to feel this way. And the work, I think, is really listening and saying, okay, well, if I'm not feeling relief and settled right now, then how can I be confident? How can I sit myself and really trust? How can I trust the universe this moment? So there might be something that I'm not allowing myself to see, whether it be letting go of some expectation, letting go of being perfect in a certain way, or thinking I have to do it a certain way. I don't have to do any of that. That's all up here. Of course, there might be consequences in not doing something or not being something or whatever. But confidence allows you to walk through that if you know, okay, I feel good about that decision. Okay, I don't even really need to know why. I just know that when I envision the results or how I'll feel once I make that decision, yes, I might feel like, oh gosh, somehow I've upset the apple cart. It might be a little bit of that. Being able to differentiate that voice versus how you really feel. And those two things are hard sometimes. Because when you feel guilty or ashamed, that tends to be a sign that you need to listen. That most likely what you're feeling ashamed for doing or being or wanting to do is really the thing you absolutely need to do. You just have to work through the reality of what that means and own up to it. Or be like, okay, well, I know I'm going to feel relief. I'm going to feel that feeling of trust, or feel at least that feeling of relief. And then I have to go, can I trust myself in going through this? Because it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to say, hey, no, I'm still here. This is what I want. I don't actually need to explain why. It might be the totally wrong decision, but right now it feels good. And that's where we want to be. Right now it feels good. And so how do we figure that out? I think meditation really brings me back. It helps me go, oh, and visualization really allows me to envision, okay, well, if I did choose that, how does my body react to that visualization? And if my body kind of like relaxes and releases, but my mind goes, oh, so-and-so is going to, whenever it starts to focus outside of what I think other people, or what I think I'm supposed to be, usually for other people, then I know that that storyline, one, is most likely false, and two, it's not actually what I want. I'm not talking about what I want, talking about what I think others want of me, or what I think I'm supposed to be, how I'm supposed to do it. Wow. Whenever we do something new, this comes up for sure. But also when we just are fed up with doing something old. We're just realizing this no longer works. It actually probably never worked, but now I have the strength to consider it and hear it. Okay. So how do we get back to the mat? That's always the issue. Can talk all day. So let's do that. So find a place again that you love to be, whether lying down or seated. Get some blankets, get some blocks, get a chair, do whatever makes you feel really relaxed, but also upright or aligned. So you want your shoulders above your hips or aligned with your hips. You want your neck extended from the back of the neck up, shoulders able to release back and down. And you want your hips relaxed enough that your legs aren't so tense, holding and gripping, and your torso isn't gripping so much either. It's just seated, it's just balance. Once you find your spot, allow yourself to close your eyes or look forward about 2 feet. Let the eyelids just release from the top down and the sides in. Notice the breath as it enters the nostrils. Feel the sensation in the nose, into the throat and lungs. Notice how the belly rises and falls as you exhale and inhale. Let's not change it. Let's just pay attention. You may have sounds outside of you, far away or closer by. And let's just listen and notice how the breath may work with or not with the sounds around you. Let's take some moments to just be silent in doing that. Let your face relax from between the brows all the way down through the nasal cavity into the mouth. Notice things just trickle down in the middle of your face into your throat and ear canals, down the sides of your neck. Notice how that helps release the ears, the jaw, the temples, and then all the way down into the shoulders, down to the back of the neck, which helps open the chest a little bit as your shoulders roll back and down. Releasing from the ears to the side of the neck and to the back of the shoulders. Let the exhalation take you from that top of the head in the front between the eyes down into the throat to the back of the shoulders to the tops of the ribs. As you exhale, let the ribs sink back toward the spine. Notice the wave of your breath. And as you breathe in, the nose all the way down into the throat, noticing the diaphragm push down, the belly press out with breath, up into the back, up into the head, and exhale from the forehead again, all the way back down. Almost hearing the exhale rushing through the outside of the nose. Let's do very long breaths like that in silence again. Let your tongue sink away from the palate of the mouth and release back into the throat, creating space in the mouth as you breathe through the nose. Notice how that helps to release the ear and jaw. And again, the neck, the throat, into the shoulders. And on your next inhalation, bring yourself back a little bit. Let the breath just relax and be natural. We're going to allow ourselves to bring up something that's been in the back of our head or pressing against us and not really quite sure why we are stressed or having a hard time making a decision around something. Not sure which way to go, but we've chosen one way or not. Not quite sure if that one way we've chosen is really what we want to do. Maybe we said yes to something we're kind of not so yes about. Whatever it is, bring up one thing that comes to you now. What is the feeling that arises from this indecision? And if you could place it in your body, where would it be? Where are you feeling it? And it might be more than one spot, and that's okay. I would say find the strongest place, whether it be in between or one of the two or three. Now I want you to put an image to it, whether it be an object, a color, a shape. If you could put an image, what would it be? Allow yourself to really imagine it. Whatever it looks like, its shape, its color, its texture, there's a smell or taste to it, whatever comes to you. Allow yourself to have it and experience it. Now, as you fully imagine it, I want you to exhale and envision this object exiting your body, coming straight in front of you, whatever size you imagine it. Facing you. Doesn't have to be as small as it was inside your body. It can be whatever size it wants to be. And if this object or color or whatever had a voice, how would it sound? If it had a smell, what would it smell like? If you touched it, what would it feel like? If it had a taste, what would it taste like? Now I want it to look at you as if it had eyes. And you look at it. And since it has a voice, I want it to say something to you. What would it say if it had just a few words or a sentence to tell you? Or maybe a few sentences. What would it tell you about this feeling that's arising from you related to this indecision? Might be more than a few sentences. Just allow it to speak to you. Is it telling you where you need to go? Ask it now. What would make me feel right, trust, confident in this decision? And allow yourself to listen to what it has to say. And once it's said its piece, say thank you. If you can, repeat back in your mind what it's told you, and that you appreciate it sharing. Take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out. I want you to imagine now that this object in front of you transforms into the best result from your decision. Whether it be an experience that you would like to see happen, or a feeling, ultimate goal, whatever it is, imagine it now in front of you as if you're experiencing it. Noticing that you feel very proud, very sturdy, very grounded in this space. Very sure. It's almost surprising. And yes, in some way you may still have an inkling of thought that arises that says you should feel guilty or worry, but you bring yourself back. You come back to how you really feel, and that's enough. See the colors of the experience, the people that may appear, the smells, the touch, the taste, and whatever you hear. What makes you prideful? What makes you feel sturdy? What makes you just feel really great about the decisions that you've made? Notice the words that may come up. Allow yourself to experience the outcome or outcomes of this decision. Believe in yourself, believe in your capability. Now we're going to gradually see this scene shrink down into a very small, bright light. Little ball of light in front of you. And as you breathe in, let that light enter your body into that same space you held before, where tension lay, indecision was held. And instead, it's a bright light of hope, clarity, and reassurance. And belief. And once you make that decision, trust will come. Action will come. On your next exhale, just slowly come out of it with a relaxation. It's like releasing anything that was still held. And on your next inhale, allow yourself to start to move your fingers, toes, and neck. And on your next inhale, when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. And give yourself a big smile. Thank yourself. Be very grateful you have this time. You gave yourself this time. Believe me, even if you don't think this is helping, it does. It's kind of amazing. Making decisions comes from a very valid, connected place now, where it almost doesn't really matter what other people say or do, because you know you, or at least you know how to get back to you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow. The train has told us we are done. Yay. Bye.